guys, welcome to Global Dance Supreme Sessions. I've got the beautiful ladies, Kim Castles and Zoe from Kryptonite. What up, guys? How are you?
I'm good.
We're good, man. Thank you for having us.
It's only a pleasure. Okay, the question that always happens, like from the start, how are you guys? How are you guys? It's COVID. How's life?
I'm doing good. It is more tiring with the whole COVID-19 because you're doing more than what you're supposed to. And like I'm pushing because you don't want to sit. No one wants to sit at home all day, so you tend to want to do more. So it's been good so far. Mentally and physically, I try to make it work. I think it depends on you at the end of the day how you make it work. You don't have to like just sit and do nothing. So for me, it's been going good. Like I think I've been pushing way more than I've done before. So
Nice.
it's helped me to wake up and like do what I need to do. So it's good.
Good. Nice.
Okay, for COVID for me, it's been a little bit okay. So something that a lot of people don't know is that I have anxiety. So just due to that fact, when lockdown happened, I went through like a whole lot of stress, and I felt as though the only way for me to kind of manage my stress was work. So it was literally a thing of we would bombard the kids. Like I think they had like 4 classes, and in my head I was like, why? I don't even have these many classes like on the regular. Why bombarding them so much? And I think it was just that anxiety and that panic, that was created when lockdown happened. And then as we went on, I just started having to focus my thoughts into the perspective that, for now, this is the new norm. Therefore, it being the new norm, you need to figure out how you're going to manage it. I'm the type of person, if I go to the grocery store, you're going to see me coming back with a bag and disinfecting the bag, disinfecting my groceries, I'm bleaching, I'm like, that is me. I'm like sanitizing my handbag, everything, taking a back. I am like over precautious about everything. And with the studio, what ended up happening is you're not able to show weakness. You're not able to show that side of you, just due to the fact that you're mentoring so many people. You're mentoring females that look up to you, so many males there look up to you. So it's a thing of, if you break down, how do you expect the 50 kids that are in your studio to manage throughout the process? You're the one breaking down. So it was a retrospective, self transition that I had to do, especially with my team. I thank God for my. If I didn't have growing bugs in there, I don't know what I would do. I'm just grateful that I had a team that, and even the 4 of us ourselves are going through our own emotional, path at this very moment. And just the mere fact that have each other to communicate to one another, or just somebody to check up on you where you don't always have to be strong,
Totally.
That's what I appreciate more from that. Yeah.
Sure. That's hectic. I mean, like, you guys are, okay, so basically, give me a breakdown. You've kind of gone into it a bit, so give me a breakdown of who you are. If someone's watching this now and they don't know who you are, introduce yourself. What do? You guys are studio owners, but you're not just that. Tell me a little bit about yourself so that I can go a little bit more into owning a studio and having like just what you were saying, where like having these responsibilities, will look up to you, but also people to guide you and help you. But first, tell me who you are. Kim, go first. I'm gonna say it.
Okay, so my name is Kim. I own a dance the Academy for Youth Development Academy, YDA in Cape Town. I'm a mother of 1 year old. So I teach and I do everything by myself. So I teach over 50 kids and I run myself by myself. I don't have anyone that helps me or and then what else about myself?
How long have you been dancing?
How long? Since the age of 6 years old. age of 6 years old, I started doing ballet, contemporary, modern, and then from 9 years old, I went into hip hop where I taught myself. And then from 9 years old, I started traveling, doing my sabotage, doing different comps that I speak comps. But I started off mostly with my foundation with ballet, modern, and then I gradually went over to hip hop, and I'm still dancing. I still come, just when I was pregnant now. I think I traveled a lot. Yes, I traveled on my last to Poland when I was pregnant. I was 7 months. That was my last. It was not last year, the year before that. I still kept on carrying the bike. So yeah, I do part time. I do fitness. I study fitness. So I did my dance. I'm currently doing my modern qualification. That I'm busy with as well. I'm a qualified soccer dance teacher, soccer coach. A D license that I have. So I do sports and dance as well. So what else? I don't like to talk about myself here.
Okay, I asked you. I forced you to. It's okay. Sorry, go.
Yeah, give me. If you don't put yourself on, nobody's gonna put you on.
Exactly. Tell it.
Hey, let's talk. Hey.
You put out that portfolio, girl. You must.
Okay, who is Zoe? Okay, hold on. No, even when I saw this question, I was like, yikes. Just due to the fact that I didn't want to say what I do, but like exactly I am. Basically, Zoe Wendani is 7 Black female who has parents that grew up in exile. However, I was born there before, grew up in South Africa. My father is Mozambican, my mother is Indian. So I always had to basically navigate my life culture. And it creates a sense where I needed to find things where I belong. And for me to find that thing where I belong, I used to dance. I used that movement to communicate. Because at first it was a thing, who's this Black little girl in South Africa with this accent? Who is she? And I would kind of get picked on because when we got here, it's not like, I grew up in the suburbs. It was a situation where and I were Soweto. And it was like, who is this little girl with this accent? And I kind of used that where I came from or how I was thinking instead of my words, because with this accent, it would be like, hey, what?
What's going on?
Right? And they're not like, it's like, where's your grandma's house? So, I had maybe say an identity crisis trying to find myself, and that helped me with. Therefore, I've been dancing. I've been dancing for maybe 10, 11. I don't know, guys. I've been dancing for 9 years. I started dancing when I was 16. Self-taught. I never went to classes or anything like that. My parents have the money to walk for the thing where I just pressed MTV name. Whatever showed I was there. Okay, and I basically danced from watching music videos, looking at other dancers. I was a big fan of Sarah. I remember I got her whole kit, that part disc where you could learn the choreography to whatever she did. But then on, got into the studio life, and started competing. Didn't learn much about it. I was just dancing, I didn't really learn a lot about it. We started dance crew with Eugene and Dirk, that is where we came to Time World under IDO. They represent the country for the first Olympics, placed 4th. Guys, how sad it is. The podium. So from then on, we decided, you know what, we start our own studio, because also on top of that, there wasn't a lot of Black-owned studios within Gauteng, you know. So it was a thing of, we feel like the thing is ours, like, and the pop thing is ours.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Black-owned studios. So what is the disconnect? Where is this disconnect even happening?
Totally.
So it was we started our own, and from us starting our own studio, I think our studio has been running since 2011. So it's yeah, we moving. We are moving. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
I hope I answered every.
You did? No, you definitely did. So I have a question with that. With both of you, you guys being running your own studio independently, but also competing and have your own experience as females in the industry. Do you feel that opportunities are the same for male and female, or do you feel like you have to go and create your own opportunities? And that doesn't always mean it's a male and female thing, but specifically, do you feel like opportunities are the same for male and female for you in your experience? Anyone?
Okay. I don't think it's much.
The order.
Okay. I personally feel that there isn't much opportunity for females, and when you do get an opportunity from males, what I've from my experience, it's always been really like male dominated. And if you become, for example, if I get an opportunity from a male, and they don't want you to speak your mind, they don't want you to communicate it, but they want to run it the same way, and it always becomes a thing of where you must be like a puppet and go with it, or you become maybe your character is too much, they can't handle it. Like this thing is that make you feel uncomfortable. I think that's one of the reasons why I also don't just put myself out there when it comes to opportunities. I would rather create my own, because I feel very uncomfortable with a lot of males, because they don't come. I've never had someone as a male that came to me as an opportunity where it's just like look at Kim, we're just gonna do this or da. There's always like something around, like there's always a potato or something, which I'm uncomfortable, I back off immediately. So with opportunities, I would say there's not much opportunity. Well, most of the time we're forced to create your own. If I look, for example, in Cape Town, it's not much. Unless you have worked like really hard with your day, in terms of your branding, that you put it on a nice like platform that you work hard, where people can be like, okay, we need you or whatever, or like that, then it's easier. But you haven't worked hard on your brand in your name. I think it's more hard to create your own. Like if I look at YBA, I've created my own, and I've worked it so hard that the candidate gets opportunities. So people come out and ask like this, I get opportunities via the text.
Yeah.
It won't be like, how do I say, like it took time for me to get to that point for someone else. But as a female, like I can start making my own. Nothing was just there's not much.
Yeah.
There's really not. There's not much opportunity. And like with males, I was telling you, like it's very uncomfortable in general.
Okay. I feel like there's just not a lot of data at this point. Like for me, it doesn't even matter what gender you are. In South Africa, we don't have opportunities, and you see it by the dancers that are so-called successes.
Yeah.
You know, they're not a success just yet. We don't have a so-called night. You know, a choreographer, which her claims. You know, we don't have certain avenues. For instance, if you think about the mamas, music videos are there. But we don't have a section called have a category for anybody to win best choreography or best direction in a music. We don't have anything like that. So that already you stunt a whole industry. So I just feel like just our industry in itself is stunted. Doesn't matter what gender you are. It's just the thing that you need to create your opportunities. You need to create now your theater platforms. You create your act. You're gonna pick. You need to create your dance. So it's a whole thing. You are the product, but also acting the product. You are also the person purchasing the product. So you're basically doing a supply and demand, but for your own industry. I feel like because you're so close with it, it's very hard for you to maneuver between it. Because if you really look at our industry, we really
Have a moment of silence.
True.
Dance is not a creative act. You have to become a musician. You have to become a presenter. You have to become something else when you're dancing. You can't just be a. You see, when we're in LA, literally work and dance for a year. I was just a dancer. You know, like thing of my opportunity came from me dancing. They didn't come from me, having to do or be something else.
Yeah.
And with South Africa, being a dancer is not enough. That's what I've realized. I sometimes put my honors degree producing, and I use it with my dancing. And that is basically how I'm trying to open up a platform for creating movement on screen. It's not just a situation where in my studio deal with the competitive side. And you need to understand, I'm the only female in my and with hearing what Kim is saying, I know that happens. But it also depends about the team of males that you have. The team of males that I have, they're supportive. They don't put me down on anything. Literally, don't tell them I said this, but it doesn't move if I don't want it to move. That's how my team works. If it's something that I'm not for, they respect that. Just like I would respect something that they're not, Yeah. And it's a thing that we will have a conversation about it. And I honestly feel like within the industry, yes, you do have males who are trying to suck on and be leeches, but you do get those males within your industry who are supportive, who want females right, who want to, a good environment for a lot of females. Even look at it. I don't know how it is for you, Kim, in your studio, but for my studio, it's predominantly my. So it's the thing that we always say, we don't want it to be a where, you might have 10 female, or let's say 10, let's go 3 to 1, but 3 to 1 as in 2 females and 1 male. But you don't want to use that and take that situation is your males end up coming or moving into the, whereas your females were the vast majority at a certain point in the stage of training. They basically leave the industry due to factors of male dominance. You don't want that. We're not push that agenda, and we don't push that agenda. Even though I'm the only female in the studio, it's a thing where I want females to come and teach in the studio. I'm always like, yes, come. And I'll be honest, I think more females have taught in the studio than males. Like, I'm gonna be honest. It's a thing, but maybe because, but whatever agenda I in the studio, in it are they're supportive of me, and I've never had a situation in our industry where I felt belittled by men. I felt belittled by females in our industry. Like a lot of the time,
I was about to ask.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of time, us as females we don't support each other. We don't honestly grow. And I'm gonna be honest. I know she doesn't know that this happens, but I know one person, Khaki.
Yeah.
God, Khaki did something, and I know she doesn't even know that she did this or how it affected me. But there was a day, okay, guys, I was really boyish at a point in my. I was just all tomboy, no makeup, no nothing, and it was a show that we had, right? And Techies was like going out like that. Techies was like nothing. She's just like that. I was like, and it was like a huge stage situation. Guys, we were doing some salsa routine. Yeah, guys, did a salsa routine. So I on my back. And he literally was like, you know what, Zoe? Let me show you. And the thing is that I have an older sister. My older sister, she's also not into that. And my mother unfortunately passed away when I was 18. So I never went through that, you know, okay, this is how you put makeup on. This is how you present yourself for a show. It was like a show on stage, lights and everything. He sat down and she was like, okay, I'm going to teach you. Let me just teach you. You don't have to do too much, but let's do a little so that it's like not overpowering for yourself.
Yeah.
But and for me, I appreciate it. She didn't make me feel small for not knowing this, and she asked reasons why I don't. She just really said, my love, the show. Let's just, glam you up a bit,
Yeah.
That was like kind of my first kind of performances. And the mere fact that I had somebody like Taki's there to assist me, I appreciate that. But that doesn't normally happen in our industry. That doesn't. A lot of our females, some of our females are just like.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how. So I was gonna ask you guys, like, with your different perspectives, only because of your different experiences and places that you've been, or guys that you've been around. We're all been around females in the industry, and that, like, there was a question I had an interview with Mary Poppins, and I was asking her the same thing, and she was saying, like, by nature, females are taught to be competitive with each other for some strange reason. We're taught this thing, whereas we need to, like, on the other end, we were talking about how some females will do, say they'll be like guy-like, and they'll be tomboyish, and guys will suddenly just not give them as much attention as they would give a girl who, like a girl who's being like hella sass, because she was saying, like, sometimes you don't even need to get a guy's attention to be really talented. You just need to be doing what a guy wants to see, and that's the type of, now suddenly you'll get support. So she's saying, like, there needs to be a global amount of support from males to females, whether you are tomboy or whether you are sass, because if you can embrace your sass and do whatever, do it. But if you also, like, if you're going to be G, but support those people. But I also feel like we had the conversation of, like, is that not then the same for females? Like what Taki said, taking you and going, cool, I understand you like this, but right now we're gonna switch this up because we kind of need to a little bit, but only because you're gonna feel great when you do it, and like you said, that doesn't happen, and it needs to, even if it becomes a thing, goes on the other end where girls could be feeling like guys don't support them because they are guy-like or whatever, and if only they put on more makeup and made themselves more this, they'll get more attention, but then they lose themselves. But us as females need to be on the other end going, like, no, be yourself, like, I don't know what you guys feel. So you've said, you've based kind of what you were saying on that, but that's my next question is, how much support do you feel, besides your close friends of females that you might have, the broader circle, do you feel like it becomes more judgy than actual support?
Cleo, even time to support, I think we all think for ourselves, like, I try to support me, I can, but it's bad. Like, it's bad. If you become, it's a thing of, like, I don't know, also with females, they become intimidated with one another. Like, for example, I was having a conversation just a month ago, and I was saying, like, I love complimenting females. Doesn't make me Asian. Like, if you're good, you're good. And I would compliment on your video. Same on Instagram. If you're amazing, like, you're amazing. But if they feel like they're afraid to just say, like, you're good. Like, they don't want to say it, so they're just gonna, like, look, or what, if you can see it, even in the industry, like, they're afraid to compliment one another. guy that I was talking to the other day, and I said, like, for example, I love doing female dances. Like, it's one of my strengths, but also I love to play dance. But I don't want to go into doing female dancing. Like, like the whole sexiness, because you feel judged. And I said, even in section or in the dance industry, for example, I'm looked at someone that's a hip hop dancer, street dancer. While if I should do something else and maybe do like a heel dance, I'm going to be looked at like, why are you doing a heel dance? That's not supposed to be you. You don't get the support because you are not catered, like you're not named the girl that does heel dance, so you don't get that respect. We have seen a lot of dancers of what talent. So, for example, if you are good at doing salsa or whatever, I'm sure you are all-round dancer. But in South Africa, the thing of like, if, for example, Zoyi tomorrow starts salsa, we're going to be like, no, we're not going to support it because she hasn't been doing it long. But what if she can nail it today and on a pro level because she's good? So it's a thing of like, I would say the support is very bad. And if you must be doing something for years to get that support. I was talking the other day, as I said, like, for people that just started dancing now. Why is it so hard for someone who's really, if you have someone good and you know someone that's really good, why don't you give them the opportunity? South Africa, it needs to be like, you could probably wait 2 years or 3 years to be ranked, and everyone needs to know you, then we can give you that job. And I said, why is it that if you're good, why can't I just give it to you? Why do, and a lot of dancers are struggling, I think, with that because I think of like, it's also about you know, but it's also of, you need to have been how long, like been long in the dance for it to know. But talent is coming all the time. Like it's almost like everyone, I don't think everyone is scared or even on Facebook when I look and I love sharing stuff and I'm like, whoa. And then I look at someone else and I'm like, oh, you stick that stick. Like one little thing. You can't say that you wanna like you complain about dancing. You say like Africa's being so bad, but what are you doing at the end of the day? Like you're not helping the situation. Not sharing, you know, it's a thing of big dog. I know Zoyi only, who is Zoyi my thing. I'm only gonna share Zoyi stuff. But I can see someone else, for example, maybe he's really amazing and I can think, wow, I'm not gonna share because it's a threat. So even in the female industry so they nasty. I actually had this conversation the other day and I think like why do they have to be that way? Because in general people are really sure of themselves. So you make it instead of like helping the next person. I have certain classes where I talk a lot with a lot of them. And a lot of them say they're so afraid to even come to certain classes because you either get laughed at your body type or you either get judged. It's always like there's always something.
Yeah.
It's bad. I personally feel it's bad. You all put this black and white. Yes, it's good. Like it's nice, pretty pictures, whatever. But at the end of the day, obviously, one another. We put in black and white pictures, but most of the time we look at the dot. 90% is not supporting one another. It's like a competition amongst each other. And I think personally myself, I became where I would go myself, and I'll do all like stuff. And we are feel like I'm helping because your own guys don't get it already. And it's already a competition that they're fighting on their own. I don't know who they compete with, but already that is already cold. So me personally, and I sometimes, which I think is also bad in a way that I like I would love to connect with everyone, but I'm also someone like I'm not going to connect with you like and you putting up this whole beautiful thing about yourself, but then someone who's not. So if I break away completely, and then I'll rather just people that are real. So it's a bad and a good thing, but I prefer that way because a lot of the time we not deal with each other. It's not like I was telling you earlier, you need to deal with if you say something, someone else will think that you can't really. So it's bad.
I get you. I totally. Kim was like, "This is my time." That was my question. I was.
That's where this is going. And okay, Kim, there's something that I want to touch on. Okay, for instance, support such guys. Like as much as can fight the males in our industry, like, y'all need to support us. Monkey see, monkey do. That's how I always. And the mere fact that we're not supportive of one another, it's that whole vibe, that whole energy, just gonna stream off. For instance, y'all know me And it's literally a thing of, if Cleo says most wanted is hey, I'm there. It's done. Why? Because I support you. I'm not even gonna question it. This is what Cleo said. It is what it is. It's done. And that's how I show my support. It's literally a thing of when Kim started her studio. I was like, guys, boom, there. You need a studio in Cape Town. That's where you need to go. And there's something that happened to Kim when she was dancing with a specific team. And I remember somebody telling me the story, and it wasn't even Kim that told me the story. Somebody told me the story of, who I had Kim when she was on tour with us. And she didn't get paid by this person due to the fact that she got injured. I've never taken a job from that person, guys. And I'm not. Like, it's that, like, for me, I'm just like, you can't do that. And the thing is that females on that team should have been like, that's wrong. You can't do it. But that didn't happen. Like, we don't have unions to assist us in certain things. So all we have is each other. And it's a thing of, if you don't stand with that person, or if you don't stand with your people, like, what are you standing with? What are you fighting for? What are you fighting for in this industry? When you say, no, we're fighting for fairness. But if you see something wrong happening and you're just like, well, it ain't happening to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that energy is what is going to hurt us a lot in this industry. There's already a few amount of females in this industry. Like, literally, when we had Hip Hop Her Story, we were like, guys, this is it. Like, that's how I felt. I was like, is this it? Is this it in our industry? And it's literally a thing where if we don't support each other, if we don't help each other out, if we don't talk about certain situations like this, and the thing is that, Kim, your story didn't even come from a female telling me. It came from a male telling me. And I was like, what do y'all do? No, we carried on with the show. I'm like, yeah. And it's a thing where I don't know, Kim, if you're working about this ever, or if people understand.
Because I didn't even say anything to anyone, because I was like, you know what?
What if?
Like, I just move along and I'll be like, I've learned my lesson and I won't say. That was my last key. Because I was like, you know what? Fine. I won't. It's okay. But it wasn't okay.
But that's something that you need to speak about. And the thing is that, Kim, you and I have been on the floor together. Him and I have competed against one another to the point where even after, I knew Kim was such a dope dancer. I was like, I want to be your duo partner. Like, literally, that was how we were. And it was the thing of, I didn't care if she was my competition. She was dope, And for me, it was a thing of, you don't see a lot of hard-hitting female duos. You didn't see a lot of hard-hitting female duos at that time. It was always, if it was a female duo, it wasn't that hard-hitting. It was like, more female. It had that vibe to it. Yeah. Or it was like a male-on-female duo at that time when we were into bod. But I was like, okay, no, I wanna do it with this girl. And literally, it was the sense of, I respected her stance in the industry. I respected it. I respected the type of dance, and that's why. And I feel like that's how Kim and I started our bond. Yeah. It was literally from competing against one another, but I didn't see her as
Likewise.
I didn't see her like that. It was a thing of, I respect you and what you're doing. I appreciate you. That's why every single time I see her, it's all love. Like, and that's a thing where you can't, guys, if you can't compete and fight for something that isn't yours. If it's not yours to begin with, it's not yours. Like, for instance, I'm not gonna compete and fight with somebody like Sneh Mbata. I can't. Sneh has guys. Sneh has her accolades. Been doing this. She's been doing it. She understands her path. I can't now come and compete with that. There's no ways. I have my own journey. Yeah. But that's the thing. We try to pull each other down like, oh no, she did 1, 2, 3. No. And Sneh's the type of person, guys, no matter what, even if you got into an argument with Sneh will support you. Totally. And that's what I love her. You can fight for Sneh one day, right? And then the next, she's just like,
she's waving a flag.
Exactly. some people might be like, oh no, it's being fake. She actually just supports, and she just supports.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the lovely thing about Sneh. But you don't get a lot of females like that in the industry. There's a few of us, and the thing is that the few of us that they are, we don't communicate that much. Like, I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time I'm talking to you guys since lockdown.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we're having this conversation, but I'm like, why do we have to wait for GDS,
to organize it?
to talk to one another, you know?
Totally.
But it's the sense that there are a lot of females in our industry that are like-minded, you know, and that have this spirit, but we're not connecting with one another. And we're connecting with the females that aren't, that just want to leave, or just want to this, or just want to say something. And I'm really protective over my studio and my space and my industry because I built it from the ground up, you know. Gina and I literally built that from nothing. We built it with whatever rumors that came flying our way. And it was the thing that we become our space. For instance, you get vetted. Like, we go through a whole vet situation before you teach in our studio. And if there's any sexual abuse or any negativity, like negative connotation around your name, you will not teach in our space. That's how you will not teach in our space because we have to protect our space. We don't have guys. We don't have certain bodies to assist us with these things. We don't have just for instance, how many of you speak about the minimum rate you get on set? Or you don't have these conversations like, as a female, this is what I'm charging for my choreography for this artist. You don't have those type of conversations. The whole industry just, excuse my French, it goes to shit, guys. Just that's what happens. It's just a situation that you are in an industry that you yourself you don't even understand because the people are not communicating, you're not talking. And as females, I feel like that's what we need to do. We need to communicate, talk, support each other.
Yeah.
The men see that. The men understand that and move on. I don't have any hard feelings against anybody. And if it's a situation where I don't like something you said, I will say, I tell you I don't like something. And if it's a situation of I don't like something you did, I voice it and I tell you. And if you feel some type of way about it, you feel some type of way about it. Yeah. But it's the sense, at least I said from my point of view, this is how I feel. This is how I feel, and you need to understand that sometimes that's energy that you don't need around you. So move along. You need to honestly constantly stay in that bad influence of this and that. Yet I do understand that sometimes you having that mindset, it puts you in this place where you're on an island. And for such a long time, they kept on saying, Zoe and Eugene, you guys are your own little island. Because we never let a lot of people in. And when we started letting people in, you need to balance and understand, you know, the energy somebody's bringing. But how you feel after engaging with a certain person, you need to look at that. You really need to look at that. You need to see, do you want to continue this? You know, if it's a sense that you don't want to continue it, there, it's done. You don't want to continue, but let somebody else find that out for themselves. Don't go ahead like this person is 1, 2. Let somebody else go find it out for them, their own selves, you know. And we're all gonna have a certain vibe from somebody. We're all gonna get it, you know. Maybe I click with Cleo more than Kim clicks with Cleo, or maybe Kim don't click with me too well, you know. But it's just the sense of you understand how the person makes you feel. Maybe have a conversation about it. Yeah. Maybe if we start talking with one another and not be like small chat, like actually get into it, we'll honestly realize more about each other and more that maybe you're more of the same. You're more of the same than you actually think. Yeah. You know?
Just you've never kind of opened that, you've never crossed that line to actually realize, oh, you're going through the same thing. Like we, you know, and it's like you're saying, we won't ever get the support from males that we want in certain ways if we're not doing it within ourselves first. And by getting that right, knowing that there's a problem, we might complain and say like, oh, you know, females don't support each other. But like you're saying, we have to there's a problem now. We need to focus on the solution. We have to support. We have to start with ourselves. We have to speak up. We have to have these conversations and not wait for an organization to do it. Even though, thank you GDS for this conversation, but at the same time, it's like this culture needs to be normal. Like this shouldn't be an occasional thing. It should be a normalized culture, so that when the shit hits the fan, if ever, and there is any type of underlying things that are happening to females from males that we don't know about, it can be called out because there's a safe place already. There's a support, and our industry can then fall on like a really like safe ground, because we're a female. If I'm going through something that I'm experiencing in the industry as a female, that I feel, and it's such a real conversation where women are feeling violated, all of these things, we know this. But if I feel like I can't even talk to you, and then I look at a couple more girls and I can't talk to you, I just keep going further and further away, and I'm in my own little bubble experiencing something that's happening in the industry that you're maybe friends with, and you may be friends with, and so and so and so and so. But you don't know, because we don't talk, and we don't know how to help each other through it. But it literally starts with what you're saying, Zoe. Yes, you can say. Sorry, I was just my two cents.
Like you were exactly what you were saying. For example, with me, like I'm a single mom, and I've been doing so much for the academy, and it's hard. Like I promised to explain, I probably gonna have my capacity, like on my own, and my son. So now exactly what you were saying. We probably is like two broad females that are single and have a kid, and maybe they struggle, for example. But we can't have this communication. Maybe I would say something, you could tell me, for example, okay, maybe it's gonna be really tough, but what you need. Or we could help one another, but there's no stuff like that. Like, for example, I lost my mom last year with time, because like I didn't even imagine losing my mom. And I had to like I gave birth, and my mom passed away when Cleo was 4 months. And I never imagined that. Honestly speaking, like I had to deal with myself. I couldn't go to another dancer and be like, like speak or whatever. Like there's certain things. That's why I say in the dance community, it's some things you don't know who to talk to. For example, like I went through all of that. Like you handle it on your own, which you don't really have to handle it on your own. You just have to run an academy, and with a country, there's so much stuff. I'm sure other females or other dancers, they go through so many things. But again, as a female, you open up to me, I'm probably gonna go to someone else and give you support. It's no like I've had a lot of female dancers that have so much problems, and I didn't speak, and but sometimes you're the one to speak to someone else. You can't, because it's like it's a story, and you keep down. I'm saying you keep down, like for example, you can't really speak, because one of that one says that one, they pass it on as like the voice, the daily voice, like that. Like there's no thing of where you can actually open up and be like, you know what, like I'm going through this. Even with COVID-19, I'm sure there's so many dancers but they're so ashamed to open up, because your status is always like on top. So now you have so much pride. So you don't want to tell what's sadly. If you told me you were sadly, I would help. But no one else's business. But it's a thing of in the industry, it becomes, for example, voice struggle. I'm gonna help voice, but tomorrow everyone knows that you're struggling. It doesn't have to be that way. We could create like even like people, like the place that if someone is struggling. I'm not saying that we all get to give us money, but it helps to talk.
Yeah.
You can't talk if people are fake. If there's so many fake people, you can't talk. But it's a need.
True. I feel like conversations like this also just it's just necessary. It's us calling ourselves out. It's us calling other people out of love, not out of hate. It's just out of one for better, and one for a community that sees each other for who they are, from whatever background they come from whatever walk their journey they're going through, understanding that, and allowing us to be vulnerable, to open up to each other, so that we can grow together, because we're all human in the end. Like, take away the dance status, we all see each other a lot, we go through things a lot. The type of support I need is the same type of support that you guys need, but if I don't give it to you, then you don't give it to me, then it's like, where do we expect to get it from? Like, if we're gonna, like you said, Zoe, earlier, it starts with us. Like, it starts with us just supporting from the start. Yeah. I have a question. Another one. I'm going to go, sorry, because I also need to keep this meeting not too long. Firstly, are you guys, that was deep there. Are you guys doing GDS this year?
Kim, yours is just
Okay, if you were doing GDS or any competition, how are you guys prepping for it currently during all this time? Or are classes kind of a little bit back to normal?
So, like I've been doing like 1 week online and then 1 week here. So I promise you it is very hard because every month it's almost like I have to change. I need to fix on my feet and be like, okay, this is working, do this is whatever. So what I've done now was so now for them once a week, then I'll make the hours longer. But now making hours longer, but like I can drop my feet. My feet is already then I have to go and drop it even more. So I could drop it even more. So now doing more classes for okay because of the whole virus. So that's also on top of it. But it is more harder because you won't like we used to train like at least I see like go twice a week, but now it's once. So it's almost like you training, like I've been training them, but it's like they come back and they just look the same because now they're told it. So now it's like you need to try ways of changing like okay, for example, now I have to change my whole thing. So now I'm extending my hours, but that I can push them more. So hopefully that takes off. But I am pushing them double because I believe, like I was telling them, we've been doing competitions but online, and I was telling them like, despite of what is happening, like you can't be because it's a virus, not them. Like when you look at the year, people come to look back and say like, okay, this you accomplished so many types of what you. So there's no time that I'm pushing them like. So definitely agreeing double. Even if it doesn't come out like I was supposed to, but making it work. We all making it work.
That's a challenge. Like working on a crew, like working on a group. Like imagine through videos. Is it like one of those? Okay, but then you would be standing there, and you would be standing there. Like I don't know.
It is hard. It is hard. It is hard. And now you can't really do like big crews. You need to like make it smaller and it's more work.
Yeah.
But I will have a team though. Even if I have like two, I will.
It's one of those moments of Jesus, just take the wheel. Okay. He said we've been 100% in this interview, so let me be 100%. Hey, guys, yo, competing in this time. Okay. I feel as though if Kryptonite does compete, it's not going to do it the way that everybody is thinking, for the sense that we do have some students who have our COVID-19 and they're getting the virus from school, whatever, you know. Some public schools have closed, but not all private schools have closed, and they still need to go in there, and they're having this interaction. And guys, I don't want a headline of Kryptonite Dance Academy closes due to COVID-19. No, guys, can I not?
Everyone doesn't want that.
Like I don't want that. So
and it can happen so easily. Yeah,
it can happen so easily, and it's something where I thought I was the anxiety, you know, paranoid. I was just like, you could have brought it in with your shoes, and we out here doing push-ups. You know, we could sanitize your hands as much as we want, and you brought it in with your shoes. It's literally a thing of yeah, guys, no. My team is just at no with it right now. We are completely online as the studio, completely online, developing. If our website and everything is up, we are completely online. We are not doing anything.
Yeah.
Our students, and even if it is, let's say for instance, I had a meeting with my assistant, with me on a project. It was a thing of, hey, bruh, how have you been for 2 weeks? If I don't, no sneezing, no this, no that for 2 weeks, okay, great. And sometimes you don't show symptoms, you don't show anything, and then you actually, but you literally can carry the virus. So it's a lot, and I've had people that I know pass away from it who were healthy. So it's just a thing where we've even asked our clients, do you guys want us to open? They don't think so, not now. They said even if you have classes that go into December, we don't mind, but guys, just right now, don't. So if we do compete as Kryptonite, it's not going to be the way everybody thinks. And whatever dance organization we compete under understands that, but we're not going to put lives at risk. We're not. Yeah.
Sure, these times, eh? Ah, tick, tick. So, how does someone sign up for your guys' studio if they're listening to this and they're like they want to get involved? How do they find you?
Okay, so on social media, we're on Instagram, Facebook, with our website as well. I don't, yeah, but I'm busy with, there's been a lot of inquiries, so I'm
cool.
Yeah, with maybe one every 6 weeks, but only like two students in this year. With the whole COVID, doing everything, all the checkups, and then one and two, but that will be open for public. But other than that, I'm not having any, I don't make students join in the year because in the year when they start, I put them either on beginners or intermediate, start placing already. And if someone comes now, for example, we don't know, like, remember, whoever works, they've been, have their own habits. Like, I'm really over disciplined, so which means they're going to have to, like, get rid of their habits or whatever. So I believe in starting from the beginning of the year so that you can see your growth. Because now you just come in and you haven't even worked hard in the group. So I don't think, but I am busy with pop-up classes. They can check on our social media that I'm busy with that I'll be having. There will only be one or two that I will, but no.
Awesome. Awesome. Zoe?
How you sign up with us? Simple. Just go to our website, kryptonitedanceacademy.com, and there's a process there. Yeah, go through the sign up process, and you can start your classes online. We start from beginner. We have a beginner package, intermediate package, advanced package, and we also do have drop-in classes that are taught by our assistants online. But our classes pre-recorded and basically tutorialized for you guys to do in the comfort of.
Cool. That's awesome. So, last question. What do you guys, what would you say to your, I always say, what would you say to your younger self that you wish someone told you back then? Or what in another way to ask that question, what would you want to say to the younger generation that are coming up or aspiring dancers, young females, males? What do you have to say to them?
I would say, if I look at myself, like my younger self, if I know, like it took me a long time to be up. Like I've always been to myself in terms of dance, and so only now that I want to, like, I'm not afraid to experiment and modern. I'm not afraid to do self. Like, and I think most of the time, we are afraid to be ourselves. Like it's okay to make mistakes. Like I've gotten to the point where it's okay if I'm stupid. I'm busy learning. So I would say don't hold back. Never hold back. Because when you hold back, you hold back. You hold back a lot of opportunities that could have come your way, but because you're so like in your own circle. So I would say explore. Like open yourself up to as much as you can. Say you're being a student. That's like in terms of like mentality. It doesn't mean that you've gotten an opportunity that you're on there. Today you could be on there. I always tell my students, you could be on top, tomorrow you could dance at the bottom. So always like be humble, be open, like be hungry, just like feed yourself as much as you can and pass it on to someone else. Don't become selfish, because many times like you as students, maybe they've been saved by someone and they still say they want to keep themselves. At the end of the day, dance is a land conversation. So you need to pass it on to someone. You can't keep it to yourself. And I think a lot of, if I look at it, so a lot of there's a lot of like self to themselves. We dance but the decision is yourself. Don't be afraid. Let it be. Whoever judges, it's fine with It's your own journey, it's your own path. It's nothing to do with anyone else. It's just be. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, Kim.
Yeah, yeah. I would say take your time. Industry, you're a dancer, then you're a choreographer, then you're a creative director, and you don't even. I would just say take your time. And that you want longevity for your career. You don't want to have blow up and then nothing after. There literally needs to be a sense of understand yourself as a dancer, understand who you are as a dancer, then understand who you are as a performer, understand who you are as a choreographer, then who you are as a creative director. And I feel as though we didn't have certain avenues, therefore we had to be everything at once. You had to be a studio owner, dancer, choreographer, and that's why it just used it like there's a whole fusion of titles. You become and you just how are you a dancer, choreographer, creative director in the whole act, and you also did the you're just like guys, wait. And yeah, in order for your career to have longevity, understand every role that you're playing. Understand the role of a dancer. Understand the role of a choreographer. Understand the role of a creative director. Yeah, man. That's what I would say to my younger self.
Thanks, guys. I'm inspired. I'm gonna make notes now. Thank you, really, really.
Your youngest self, Cleo.
I don't know. I didn't even give it any time or any thought. What would I say? I am going to be interviewed by Alvina, so maybe you should wait till then. Actually, no. But I would say, hey? Oh, I would say, don't be scared to not know your niche and to discover your niche. Because when I started, and I was around break dancers a lot, and like great dancers in Cape Town who were like such an amazing support system, and I was learning all these things, and then I was learning this, and I was learning that, and then I went to New York where I was studying and training and I had to choose specific styles that I wanted to basically become my major, for in hip hop. And I was like there feeling like, oh no, but I must just do everything. I must be amazing at everything. And like I just had this pressure on me. And when I got to New York, I was like, no, I don't. I really like house and I really like breaking. Like that's okay. Like Cleo, it's okay. No one's watching. Like do your thing and train. Like train. Like and I had that pressure on me with, and I think I don't know, when I was young, to just be great at everything. And I was like, yeah, learn everything, respect the styles and learn everything. And that I've always done. But when I got to allow myself, like I gave myself the time to be like, what is your niche? What do you like? What do you enjoy? And where does your personality live in? When I got to like decide what those things were and what my flavor was, I could explore it. But before I never explored it. I was just like, do this, learn this, be good at this, do this. And I was like, no, I just felt like I was a strong dancer, but not the person. I wasn't Cleo in my dance. Like when I allowed myself to find the time to admit to myself first that I don't know my niche, and then allow myself the time to find it. I just felt like myself, and I really hope people can understand that, because it's great to learn everything, and you have to, and your mentors will push you, and that's great. But we also just need to allow ourselves to remind ourselves, you can dance in a silhouette and I would know who you are, Zoe. Like if you're dancing, I'd know who you are because you fully know yourself and you have an identity. And you, Kim, like you completely know who you are. That I wouldn't need to be told who you are and be like, no, that's because you've grown into that niche. And I hope young dancers do that, because I see a lot of people trying to follow what they see, but you have to follow what you feel and go with that. So
okay. Beautiful.
Well, thanks for the interview, guys.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you, GDS platform.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Really felt like we were having drinks somewhere and like chatting, which it should be like.
Dude, this should be a norm. This should be normalized, guys. We
Totally.
shouldn't wait. Yeah, but yeah,
I mean,
we literally just 20 females on this, and let's hash this out.
let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Probably need a very long time when you do it, like a couple of hours, because you
course,
go around the
of course.
circle. Be like, you first, you're at the top of my screen. But it will work. I think it's amazing. And thank you guys for being so honest. Thank you for just being like open about your studio, open about your feelings as a dancer, as a female in the industry, and just like we talk about our industry here in South Africa, but you guys are making waves everywhere. So like, thank you for being so honest, because
Thank you.
it's a pleasure.
Proposing like
Chat to you guys soon. Keep well.
that.